recommendations, that they are just some suggestions of ways to look at markets and things that you might be able to analyze by using moving averages as a key concept with the market. Just to kind of wrap up where we're at here with the moving averages and how we need to chart our ways. And I hope you know by now, based upon what I have said, I don't know what the future of the fundamentals will be. I don't try to make those predictions. So I try to rely on some kind of an indicator, and moving averages happen to be a pretty easy, simple, I like to keep it simple, indicator that I can use in conjunction with some of the other indicators. And then you can manipulate the numbers in a little different way in each indicator. Gives you a pretty good idea here as to kind of the direction, and then from that direction use some of your other indicators like the predicted high and low to find some specific points. When you are using your charts, you need to know, first of all, of course, like any trading plan, what is your trading style, what's the time frame that you are operating with, because you can't make a plan unless you know kind of what you are, your personality, and how you would trade. And then, if you're on a course, you're going to try to map out something. You're going to make sure you have a route plan for where you're headed. What kind of expectation do you have? Where are you going to get on to this route? What are the clues that you're going to follow to get on course? And then, of course, using as an index a short-term indicator like that shows you kind of what the typical price would be in 2 days. You need to get off to a good start. You need to know what your entry rules are. And then as you have as you get onto this course, you need to run the course, you need to follow the rules, you need to stay with the plan, keep with your indicators, don't ignore them. You'll have some warnings, that you do not necessarily have to be in the market every day. You don't have to be, out there in the middle of a hurricane, if you're trying to plot a trip somewhere. Above all else, what you want to make sure you do, as you do with any trip, in trading, you want to get to your destination safely, and that means that you have to keep risk at a minimum. If you see that you are in a losing situation, doesn't look so good, get out early. The best loss is the first loss a lot of times, and you need to be very sure about your exposure to markets and keep your losses small, especially if you're coming up to these critical times like we have, for example, with the crop report coming up, or any other type of a situation that's coming up with some kind of a news event or some other development. Okay, again, you can't guess the development, but it is a situation that you'll have to kind of prepare for. Okay, now, if you have questions, I'm glad to take any questions that I can. If you have questions about Vantage Point, and if you want to know more about their forecast or anything about Vantage Point, call that number, because they can provide you a lot more specific information, a lot more details than I can. I use the software, but they can answer your questions better than I can. Okay, let's see here. Well, we have questions. Question was on this trade example, what stop would you use? I think we're going back to the E-mini example that I did for the most part to explain the system. If I were using the predicted high and the predicted low to determine where I'm going to put my stops, I'm going to enter 20 points above the predicted high, sell 20 points below the predicted low. That's my entry point. If the market moves in my direction, fine, but if it doesn't, I want to have a 10-point stop, if the market moves 10 points against me, because I want to keep my loss to $500 or attempt to keep it as low as I possibly can. Sometimes that may not be reasonable to say only $500, or maybe a more natural point, but that's kind of used. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions. You can see there's a question here regarding the trial basis for Vantage Point, and I see somebody has answered yes, and so yes, I know if you call the Vantage Point number there, you can talk to them and talk to them about trial or any other type of information you need to know about Vantage Point and how it can be used. See if I see any other questions in here, and I don't see any other questions right now, and if I see no other questions, I guess that I'm either answered everyone, or I've baffled everybody, or everybody is wondering exactly how they can use this. They're running out to trade the market before it closes, the stock market before it closes real quickly. So having reached the end of my allocated time, I do just want to reiterate what Darrell said before about having other webinars with more emphasis on other techniques. They are in archived webinars on the TraderPlanet.com website. A lot of other good information on that site. You go there, you'll read about Trader Ed, you'll read some of the newsletters on there every day, current information. So I urge you to go to TraderPlanet.com to find out the current information, to keep up with it. Then look at your charts to make some precise decisions about how you will actually trade that information. So if there are no other questions, I do thank you for attending today's webinar, and I look forward to seeing you at other webinars in the future. Darrell, turning it back over to you.
Thank you, Darrell. The recording for this webcast will be posted on TraderPlanet.com within the next 24 hours, and we have made arrangements to email the link for the recording to each of you. If you're interested in seeking further information on Vantage Point intermarket analysis software, we urge you to contact our friends at Market Technologies, the makers of Vantage Point, via the phone number on your screen. This concludes today's presentation. Thank you for attending, and all of us here at Trader Planet wish you a pleasant evening.